Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of Close Up. I'm Leah Johnson in for Randall Savage. Today's guest is Debra Rollins with Rebuilding Macon, Executive Director. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Let's talk about this great organization you're a part of. It really works to reach out to people to help others in the community.
It does. It's a nonprofit that was organized in 1992. And over the last 18 years, we've repaired over 2,000 houses. So we've had quite an impact, not just on the houses, but building relationships between the community.
Talk about some of the wonderful people who work to help this organization to keep it going.
Well, we have over 2,000 local volunteers. That's everybody from your churches to your banks and hospitals. But we also bring in 1,400 teenagers every summer. So we have a tremendous outreach to the community through these people.
And these young people who come in once a year or several times a year to help people in different communities around Central Georgia, do they have any experience with building a house?
They do not, but by the time they leave, they've got some great experience, and we've helped build some good leaders this way too.
Talk about the reaction that you get from people when you say, hey, we're going to show up and we're going to help you. How do they receive that?
A lot of times they don't believe us. It's kind of like, why would you do this? They don't understand that people really do just want to give from the heart and will do it just to be kind, not expect anything in return. So the amazement is wonderful to see on people's faces when it actually happens.
Do you have a lot of people who take time to donate money? Because I know you need money to keep this going.
We always need money, but we're a little different. We don't require that you bring money to volunteer with us. There are a lot of groups that if you volunteer, you've got to bring money. But what we do is let people try it out. When you do it, then you want to give. So it's amazing the number of times people will work all day and then at the end of the day they'll hand you a check or they hand you a $20 bill and say, this was one of the best experiences I've ever had.
Yeah. If somebody wants to be a part of this, how do they, go after, calling you up or getting on a particular project?
We are very easy. You can call our telephone number 744-9808 or go to our website. We actually have a little volunteer form where you can email us and we will get you on the right team or get you on the right project.
Okay, and then you're out there too, rolling up your sleeves, painting and hammering. Talk about that.
Well, it's fun because I actually started as a volunteer. I did this for years before I actually was hired by the organization. It's something I love to do. And it's the way that you can learn and mess up on somebody else's house, not mess up on your house. You can make your mistakes and learn how to do things. But it is fun. There's nothing better than to go to bed at night just worn out from working hard and feeling like you've accomplished something.
How do you come across the people who need your help?
Well, that's very easy. Every time we're on TV, we will have at least 20 phone calls tomorrow. When we work on a house, we put a sign in the front yard. The neighbors see it. They will call. A lot of the churches know about us now, and they will call and say, we have a church member. If you will help her, our church will come help. So word of mouth has been great for us. For every one house we do, 3 or 4 people hear about it and call in.
Is there a certain criteria or guidelines that the person has to meet?
There is. We only work for homeowners. They have to own their own home and live in it, be over 60 years old or disabled. If they're disabled, it can be any age, and it can be anyone in the home that's disabled. If you have a child that's disabled, we'll help. They have to have lived in the home 2 years. We don't want someone to go out and buy a house they know needs a lot of help. And they have to plan on staying there. We want this to be an investment for them to stay in their home.
Okay. You have a wonderful T-shirt in your arms. Let's see that.
There is so little that we can actually give to our volunteers, but this is one of the things that we do is give them the T-shirt. And on the back of it, you can tell the people who sponsor us, who give us money. Everybody on the back here is given $1,000 to $20,000. In fact, Peyton Anderson's given us $50,000, Allstate $20,000, and this is the way we make it happen.
Okay, let's see the front again.
The front is so pretty. When you see this, you know that somebody's worked at least 8 hours. They've put in some hard work for us.
And then you have not only young people who are a part of Rebuilding Macon, but you have people of all ages.
We do. In fact, next week we have a volunteer who's going to celebrate his 83rd birthday. And he volunteers with us every Tuesday and Wednesday. He is so faithful. Does a great job. He's our cut man. He's got a PhD in quantitative methods and just brilliant man and good-hearted. And he reaches out not just to work on the house, but to talk to the people, to make them feel loved and appreciated.
Do you get a lot of volunteers who have home building skills or carpentry skills?
We do. Nowadays, with everybody learning how to do things by watching the HGTVs and all, they can come out and practice with us, but we have a lot of people that have had to do for their own homes. It's hard to get a plumber nowadays. They're $100 to come out and say hello to you. So we've got some great skilled plumbers who come and help us and teach people how to do things. We had some college kids come down last week from Boston, and one of our plumbers taught them how to reseat valves and how to change out gaskets and washers, and they were just thrilled. These girls were just beside themselves. They called home to tell Mama what they had learned how to do. So.
Do you have trouble getting volunteers at all?
The only time we have trouble is when we need some really skilled things. The hard jobs, we have 5 ladies right now who need sheetrock ceilings. Their roofs leak so bad that the ceilings fell in. Well, we fixed the roofs now, but to get someone to put the ceiling in, that's hard work, and that's not something everybody will volunteer to do.
Yeah, I know the economy has taken quite a toll on a number of organizations and businesses. Have you guys been affected by that at all?
We have, and it has hurt, but it's amazing how many people have stepped up because they know that some of the bigger corporations can't give like they've given in the past. It's amazing how the smaller people have stepped up with $25 or $50 or $100. We have a school teacher that gives $25 every quarter. We get her check religiously. It's wonderful to see people like that who volunteer and give their money.
What about the people who have benefited from Rebuilding Macon? Do they, are they inspired to give back in ways that, you know, they can possibly, you know, say, hey, I can't lift a hammer, but maybe I can, you know, make a donation of some kind?
We've had 2 that have just really impressed me. We have a sweet little lady over on Lincoln Avenue. She only makes $500 a month, Social Security, and we worked on her house and she sent us a money order for $100. And it almost broke my heart to take her money, but she was really proud of the fact that she could help, and she stepped up to do that. We have another lady who just recently, we put a roof on her house, and when she heard our kids were coming, she baked cakes, like 4 cakes, and brought them, and they were delicious.
Wow.
So it's just things like that. We've had families to come in. We went and worked on one lady's house. 10 of her family members came in and worked. So that makes a major difference. And they come back to work on other people's houses. So.
Are you impressed with how well these volunteers work to really make a top-notch sort of home? I was looking at some of the pictures you were showing me, and this is quality work.
It is, and in fact, sometimes we kind of have to pull them back a little bit because these houses were never square, level, or plumb, and now to get them back to that would just be well beyond our means. So we have to get them warm, safe, and dry. That's our main mission, that's our goal. Warm, safe, and dry, and then we'd like for them to look pretty. But we do have to sometimes say, this is the best we can do, but we have some skilled people. The president of the Middle Georgia Woodworkers Association can build beautiful cabinets, and he gets in there and it's just picture perfect when he's through.
How does that make you feel at the end of the day, working with Rebuilding Macon? Do you, or I'm sure you're proud about the work that you guys, you know, generate throughout the Central Georgia area? I
am. It's really neat because there's not a neighborhood in this town you can't ride through and see work that we've done. Now, other people might ride through and not see it, but when I point out we've painted this house and that one, and that's our wheelchair ramp, and we put this roof on, it's a great feeling.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to continue our conversation with you, but first we have to take a break. Don't go away. Stay with us.